Bom dia! Life presents us with boundless opportunities. We often believe that adhering to conventional norms is necessary as we chart our destinies. However, that's nonsense. Thinking outside the box, things suddenly become much more doable. We frequently emphasize that achieving things requires far less money than anticipated. Yet, what about time? Many individuals find themselves short on time or lacking both time and money. Regardless, you may have felt like you were missing out. It may seem everyone else has made all the right moves. Today, we are here to show you that this is just not true. Let's talk about it. It'll be fun. Vai ser divertido. Each of us possesses the capability to forge our own adventure in life wherever we go. We just have to stay safe as we do so. And one of the ways you can keep yourself safe is with Surfshark. We've been using Surfshark as our VPN service since before we left the USA. The service allows us to switch between different areas of the world. We use ours for banking, viewing websites, and watching TV. Over the last few years, Surfshark VPN has expanded its features to include antivirus, a no-tracking search method, and a system to track personal information leaks. All of these are included in Surfshark One for less than an additional $1 a month. Using our affiliate link in the video description below, you can sign up for a 2-year plan for only $83.76, which comes out to only $3.22 a month when paid up front. Sign up today. It'll be fun. We walked this walk when we first got to the island, and it has been one of our all-time favorites. It is the Camino Real do Encumeada, or PR12. The walk starts in Boca da Corrida and currently has a detour after about 7 kilometers, which will take you down through the mountains on an old road for another 6 kilometers. You will end up in Serra da Agua. Leslie and Wolf took the journey together without me, since Greer and I were relegated to being the driver and co-pilot. While the walk is considered moderate, you will start up high in the mountains at about 1,245 meters and go up about another 90 before walking a slow descent across the mountains, about 480 meters down until you arrive at the detour road. And from there, you will travel way down to the low point of the valley. Unless you have me and my 1970 Bug to pick you up on the old road just above Serra da Agua, saving you about 1.5 kilometers and the last of the downhill road. By the way, I'm Alan, and I'm here with my wife Leslie and our son Wolf. We are from the USA and now live on the beautiful island of Madeira in Portugal. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll receive notifications of our new videos. Somehow throughout our lives, we were always behind the 8 ball, or up a creek without a paddle. Over the past year or so, we have spent time telling you our story, reminding you that life is short, and telling you that we know we should have done this sooner. With what we know today, we are sure we could have done this or a different version of our adventure sooner. However, we would have to understand how to create the adventure sooner as well. So, since we didn't, we are here now. And you know what? Now it's just fine. Do we have millions saved or big pensions that can make everything just float along like the perfect little dream? Not a chance. But we always find a way to have and continue to create an adventure that just a few years back we thought would always be outside of our grasp. Have you ever been standing in line at the store and started talking to the person next to you? I know I have, and it's amazing what you can learn. I have learned a better way to fix the plumbing in my house, gotten gardening tips that I didn't need, and interesting bits of wisdom from someone on how they view life. Throughout the years, some of these little tidbits of wisdom have turned into full-blown projects or research ideas for Leslie and I. For example, many years ago, I met a man while standing in line at the hardware store who was getting ready to go to Costa Rica for a few months. He was looking at the idea of spending part of his life outside of the USA and wanted to experience what it'd be like if he chose to live there in that area of the world. Now, I never saw him again, and I often wonder how his adventure turned out. Did he buy a property? Does he still live outside the USA for a few months every year? Maybe he lives overseas full-time today. It was a fun conversation, but I actually completely forgot about the encounter. And now I wonder if a seed had been planted all those years ago. We are viewer supported. If you enjoy our videos, we invite you to join our Patreon community. Life is short. We should have done this sooner. And as with everything, hindsight is 20/20. So maybe you are watching this video and starting to think, I want to do that or some version of a next adventure, but my life just doesn't allow for it. We know the feeling. Maybe you already know exactly what the future goal, dream, or adventure is, but are waiting for the kids to get out of school, waiting for the bills to be paid, or waiting on the time to devote to truly doing the research and getting started. Don't worry. Your current life doesn't always have to share the vision that you have for it. We encourage you not to stress, but to choose to make one step forward now while you're living your life. Maybe the step is to get a language app, sign up for a YouTube channel, start setting aside money to go on the vacation in the area that you may be interested in for the future. FOMO, the fear of missing out. All the people you see that have or are building these great-looking dreams didn't just up and do it in a day. And even if a few did, they dreamt of it years ago, I'm sure. They may have forgotten until one day in a rush, they hit the go button, packed up, and chased that old dream. We planned for years and still think we pushed the button too early. We are just grateful to be here. Our process happened over the years. 1. Deciding that we were going to find someplace else to live as we aged. We needed a more cost-effective option as we were going to build the quality of life that we wanted. 2. As time went forward and we watched our savings grow, we understood that we weren't going to live in two places like our imagined hardware store man. Our funds weren't going to support that for many more years, so we readjusted our budget. 3. Coming to the conclusion that we were willing to adjust our goals in order to maintain the goal of time together. Leslie and I are 9 years apart, and we didn't want to wait until her retirement was fully funded. We had to acknowledge that no, we didn't do all the right things throughout our life. However, past choices weren't going to stop us. Slow us down, sure, they already had. They might cause some adjustments to the possibilities too. So what? We found that learning to embrace the possibilities in the now was our best course of action. Simply, take one step at a time. In life, we are never failures because we didn't get our goal completed until after someone else. Sometimes it is hard to find the time to devote fully to the dream. As an example, while we love the FIRE movement, we are way too old to say that we can do that. The RE, meaning retire early, is a problem. But we are never too old to embrace the FI, or financial independence. We can still devote time to this endeavor. Just a reminder, someone else's accomplishments are not necessarily better than yours. They are just different. One of the things that we never really thought about, or at least never embraced, was the idea that we could live overseas for 3 months at a time. Explore the world that way. Some people design this into their lives and are doing this at a very young age. We know that for many years, Leslie actually worked from home. We easily could have rented a small apartment in maybe Costa Rica, Ecuador, or Portugal for years before we finally made our move. In our case, we didn't believe we could afford something like that. It was only for the rich. Well, guess what? We have these thoughts all the time. With the amount of money we spent in the spring, summer, and fall on our gardening, there are a ton of things we could have been doing. I mean, we enjoy gardening, so it wasn't a waste, but you get my point. Maybe with a different viewpoint, this is something you will choose to do going forward. You know, you do not have to sell everything you own and move overseas, but may be able to find a way to spend 3 months out of the year and living and experiencing a new country. So, while life may say it's too early or too late for you to be going on the next adventure, and you find yourself short on time and money, we challenge you to think outside of the box. Ask yourself some questions. Can I arrange to work for a few months every year remotely? If the first answer is no, then what can I change in order to do this? Ask yourself who benefits if I find a way to experience this opportunity in life. If you still have children at home, then experiencing a new culture will be nice to them as well as yourself. If you are thinking that you can negotiate the time but not the money, then maybe it's time to start researching the areas where the cost of living is low and figure out what you don't have to pay for at home when you are not present. I guess what we are saying, that every time you hear yourself say no, then figure out what needs to change in order to make it a yes. Moving overseas and living abroad doesn't have to be full-time. One does not need to wait until the end to start your journey. Even small steps count. We spent years working on ours, and we are still figuring it out. To make it work, we live on a budget. We brought our son with us. We have built multiple income streams. We are still investing for the future, but we are living our dream now. We know that we could have spent summers in places all around the world if we had just understood what we know now. Therefore, time is on your side. Don't panic. You have not missed out. We encourage you to share your adventures, big and small, in the comments below. Let us know what we can help you with. For example, planning your journey from the scouting trip through getting settled in Madeira. Join us on Patreon, where we will help you with a NIF, connect you with our trusted real estate agent, immigration team, tax attorney, etc. The description of our videos holds links to our Patreon, planning a one-to-one call, and affiliates. We hope you continue to come along with us on our new adventure. Life is short. We should have done this sooner. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to help us grow. The next stage in your life is a journey.